Alright, I just got paid, and even though I got bills, I gotta get some stuff. One of which is our gloves. I need some gloves. I should probably just wait and go to the auto parts store and get some gloves from them, but I don't know about that. Too anxious to get this. Probably should. The only place that's open this late really is unfortunately Walmart. I don't like shopping there unless I absolutely have to, but I need new calculators as well, so probably just end up going there anyways, just for the calculators themselves. Might as well pick up some gloves if they got them. I don't know if they'll have the brand that I want to get, but or the type. The type of glove that I want to get, I have a pair, or I had a pair, but I lost one of them on my way home from work one day. The gloves are designed for people that use impact wrenches, and those particular gloves are actually really great for working at the airport, because you got to hold on to this rope the whole entire time you're fueling an airplane. It's called a dead man, and if you say let go of the rope, then it stops pumping. Stops pumping. So the impact wrench gloves are good because when you're holding on to that rope, the extra padding kind of acts like a bigger rope. It makes the little rope act like a bigger rope, so it doesn't take so much force to hold on to the rope. And then there's all the other stuff that you have to do during that as well, is lifting up the moose head, which is about, I'd say probably about 50 pounds itself. And then there's the single point. Lifting that up is well, that's actually more of a pain in the ass than the moose head. But because sometimes, okay, there's a thing called vapor lock, or vacuum lock. I mean, vacuum lock. And what that is when the plane lands, if the fuel cap has been sucking in air, then when it lands, all that air compresses or expands and pushes down on the actuator that allows you to hook up the single point. And if that actuator is stuck because of the air pressure, then it's hard to put the single point on. And the only way to alleviate that problem is to, unfortunately, take your thumb or your fingers and push up on the actuator. Well, what happens there is once you do that, fuel starts spilling out. So all of a sudden now you got a fuel spill all over yourself. But you can get the single point back on now. There's another way of fixing it, and it's just a pain in the ass, and that is to just lift up the single point to the actuator and keep trying the actuator through the single point to the point where the single point will finally lock on. Now, the impact wrench gloves help in all that because there's padding in the palms, and what you can do with that is the single point has two handles, and it'll look almost like an arrow. The single point looks almost like an arrow with kind of like fish hook corners on the sides, and those sides are actually the handles. And what you can do with the single point, or I mean with the gloves, is actually with the padding in the gloves, hold the single point up with both hands using the padding as extra holding, so that you don't actually tire your hands out. And if you do that and you hold it up onto that actuator long enough, it can actually engage properly. As for the calculators, we work on stairs. We have stairs that we pull up to the airplane wing so that we can get up to the single point. The problem is you end up dropping your calculator all the time. Actually, there's a Walgreens right there. I could probably go in there instead. They probably don't have work gloves though. There's a CVS as well. They'll have the rubber gloves, or the what are they called? The latex. There's latex gloves, nitrile, and one other type of glove. I forget what the other one is called, but they're basically they're medical gloves. They're the type of gloves that cops use when they pat you down and all that stuff, or doctors use. And they have ones now for mechanics that are like extra thick. My belief is they're like 3 times as thick as the normal gloves, and that that is because mechanics need the extra insurance that they don't rip or anything, so that their hands don't get dirty. The problem with those gloves, all those types of gloves, are you sweat when you're working a job like mine. You sweat, and that holds on to the sweat. So they're not exactly good for my job. Because as soon as you take off your gloves, your hands are all pruny. They, if you touch the paperwork, it all soaks up all the water that's still on your hands. And it's just an overall, doesn't feel good. Then there's, let's see, what else? I had these, I still actually have them, these leather gloves, which are real great. I really love them. Problem is they soak up tons and tons of oil, grease, what you name it. It'll soak them up and get all in. Then your hands are just constantly in contact with the elements, which is the same could be said for things like the impact wrench gloves. Same thing happens there. But the problem with the leather gloves also is when you're working in the rain. When you're working in the rain, it's like 5 times as worse, because then they hold on to the water. They get a lot heavier because they're retaining all this water. And then when you take off your take off the gloves, it's just hell. Just hell. Anyways, I'm gonna do another test to see how long this pauses for. So here we go on 1310. Oh, hey, look, it actually stayed paused all that time I was in the store. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention to what time I left, but it's now 12:30. So what I got were some gloves. They did actually have the gloves that the brand Mechanics that I was looking for, but they didn't have the particular type that I wanted. I think they had their own store brand, which I was tempted, but then realized that it might be actually just a store brand. It actually had a tag on it that said this product contains chemicals that in California are known to cause cancer. I was like, yeah, I think I might not get that one. I mean, if you have yeah, it was $5 cheaper. But if you have a brand that says that, I don't know. Ooh, that Taco Bell is open. I think I'm gonna get some food from there. And then I'll get my wife some food at Taco Bell because she wanted something at Taco Bell. Or not Jack in the Box. Yeah, I think I will. Need to get over into that lane though. Now we can turn past the intersection. Yes, they are still open. How awesome is that? Gotta make that turn nice and wide. I have no clue where that curb is. Doing pretty good.
When you're ready.
I'm not quite at the screen yet.
I'm sorry?
I'm not quite at the screen yet.
Oh, of course. When you get the screen, I'll help you.
Well, I already know what I want, but anyways, after this food, I'm gonna have to be really, really careful with the money. Oh, let's see. I didn't buy any drinks while I was at Walmart. Need to get some milk tomorrow. Probably just after work I'll go to get milk. All right, there we go.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Let me get a number 2 steak, no pico, no.
A number 2 steak, no pico. Sorry.
Yeah, no pico, no guac, and no. God.
Did you want the avocado ranch sauce?
Yeah, no avocado ranch.
Okay. What else can I get for you?
And no taco or no lettuce on the taco. And that will be with a root beer.
Would you like to make it extra large today for 20 cents more?
No.
Alrighty, what else can I get for you?
Deal letter D.
A deal B? I do
No,
the same thing.
D is in dog.
Okay, and your drink?
And that will be a Mountain Dew.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Alrighty. So I had the deal D with the Mountain Dew. I had the number 2, no pico de gallo, no guacamole, no lettuce on your taco, and no avocado ranch with the root beer.
Yeah.
Okay, have you turned out the second window. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have my total at the window. Total. It looked like the total was $9.60, which is almost a whole $1 cheaper than the one next to my apartment. Holy crap. And I'm just down the road. Alright, so let's see. My work stuff is all in this bag here, so this can stay in the car. These are my chips.
Hi, thank you for choosing Taco Bell. How are you today?
I got some Tostitos scoops. And by the way, I'm not getting paid to say any of this stuff. I'm not sponsoring. I'm just telling you what I like. So be as it may. I have Tostitos scoops. I have Lay's wavy hickory barbecue chips, and I got myself $3 calculators, and I just realized, unfortunately, they're probably store brand. Now that I think of it, oh well, they'll probably be in the junk pile by the end of the month, anyways. And then I bought, let's see, what else did I buy? Oh yeah, the mechanics gloves. After this food and the food for my wife, it will be basically save mode. Now, I'm looking at my camera. I don't like the angle it's at, but it shows both corners of my car. So if it looks like I'm driving down the road a little wonky, that's because the camera is all out of whack. But this mount has held up through heat, through cold. Well, not really cold, but this mount is really good. I really like the mount. I just wish this mount had a little bit more flexibility. It has some sticky stuff on the suction cup, and the sticky stuff is really sticky. It's almost like glue. And then you got the thing here that actually, I know it shakes the camera. That's why I'm saying it. In my first videos of this, it was probably, I said that it's probably going to be bouncing around the camera, simply because of how much play there is. See, that's not even the thing that I was pressing on before. That's how much play there is. And then this is what I was pressing on before, so there's that much play, plus that, and then that's even worse. That's everything. That's a whole, just by looking at that, that's a whole inch of just play right there. And then side to side is okay. There's a little give there. See, I can have it like how I was having it, like that, but then that cuts off the one corner of my car. If I have it all the way over here, then it looks like I'm driving weird.
Daddy, how are you?
Good.
$9.60. Any sauce?
It's like a whole $1 cheaper than the one across from my apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you need sauce?
Right. Oh.
Mountain Dew?
Okay. I didn't supersize that one, but.
Oh no, babe, the combos automatically come with large.
Oh, really? They were mediums.
Oh no, you're right. Yours was a medium. I read it wrong. I didn't charge you.
Okay.
It's still a medium. Did you need sauce?
Fire, please.
Of course. I'm just so used to making large things, I guess.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Thank you. Now, the trick to these turns here, we want to go actually wide, because your back tires will fuck up. Okay, so I need to make sure that she actually did my order correct. And really, there's only one thing that I need to check, and that's my beefy 5-layer burrito. And she didn't. I knew it. Did she write it up as steak? No, she wrote it up as beef. I know I said steak. I always say steak, and I've got it on camera. Where's that? So I've got a double mistake here.
Hi, thank you for giving Taco Bell. How are you doing tonight?
I'm back.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm back.
You're back?
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong?
Not entirely, but now I realize why it was less.
Okay, go ahead and pull forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright, what did I
Yeah.
do?
You did write it down on here correct, but I guarantee you I said steak.
You said steak?
I even have it on camera.
Okay, that's fine. I don't have that.
I'll pay the extra $1 cost.
Stuff, right? Steak with no pico, no...
Basically no veggies.
Okay.
I always say steak. I'm gonna go through this this footage again, and I'm gonna take a look at it. Oh, I didn't even realize we're at 28 minutes and it hasn't shut down on me yet. Well, that's a good thing. But I am running out of memory. 4,000 M left. Probably megabytes. You ever see that cartoon? What was it called? Reboot, I think it was called. That was a good animation. That was like when computer animation was first coming out. It was brand spanking new. That's all right.
You have a good night now, sir.
You too. Anyways, that's that. Now I got to figure out which way I got to go. Which way was I going? Oh, I know which way I was going. Okay. Yeah, that anime, or not anime, the computer, I guess you can call it anime, I don't know. It was probably Japanese. That's the thing that a lot of people have a misconception of, is between anime and cartoons. Cartoons are like Bugs Bunny and shit. Anime is pretty much anything Japanese made. I mean, that's where the term came from. Oh wait, no, that's Alma School. I need to go this way. Okay. see, I did technically just make an illegal turn. I made a right turn from a left turn lane. However, before I did that, I made damn sure there was nobody around me. Root beer from the can far outweighs mug root beer from a fountain, and then bottled root beers between those. Don't know why. Maybe it's the coating of the can that makes it taste better, to me at least. And then there's, what else is there? There's, keeping an eye on my root beer, make sure my acceleration doesn't make it spill. I'm weird like this. I like regular Pepsi, but I like Diet Coke. I don't like regular Coke, and I don't like Diet Pepsi. Root beers that I like in order of most liked to least liked is IBC, Mug, A&W, and then if I have to, Barks root beer. But ever since Barks got bought out by Coca-Cola, or yeah, I think it's Coca-Cola that owns them now. Ever since then, I think they changed the formula, or they changed something to the point of where now it tastes almost as bad as Dad's old-fashioned root beer. I know there's people out there that are going to say, hey, you know, Dad's Old Fashioned is the greatest and all that stuff. Barks is the greatest and all this and that stuff. It's my personal preference. But when it comes to Dad's Old Fashioned and Barks root beer, it's too, I have to say, perfect.